Are we on? We're on? Greetings. Welcome to our HappyBasins Jungle Room, our Jungle Room news night, Monday nights from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I am super excited to get to share with you guys. So let me open up my Facebook here and see if I am super excited to get to share. Well, we know the volume works and I'm here. So that's awesome. And I don't know how to see one thing here that I would like to see. So you guys, this is our third Monday night live feed. We had some issues with the first two. So I'm going to start this one as though it's the very first one, because this is also our very first time going live on Facebook. Because of our new technology that Larry has been using, we have the opportunity now to stream both on Facebook and YouTube at the exact same time. So that's super exciting. I am trying to open this on my Facebook here. Here we are. Very good. So when we decided to start doing this, it was hard. We've been doing 3 live feeds a week for the last 4 weeks. This is our third week for the Monday night, but then we've been doing Tuesdays and Thursdays also. And it has been so fun to get to show and tell with you guys. I just love sharing everything. And the technology issues have been insane, as you guys have heard me mention on the other ones. Trying to figure out which cameras work best, because we have one camera that works good when we travel upstairs and downstairs for our room tours. And we do a room tours live feed on Thursdays from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. And on that live feed, we're covering everything in our entire HappyBasins setup, including upstairs, downstairs, and we also have animals in another room in quarantine. So we have a lot going on here. And on our Thursday feeds, we'll be covering we have been covering the entire HappyBasins, everything, including Jaja. And on Monday nights here, we're only talking about the Jungle Room. Our very first Monday night live we did, we had just got it back into town. We had a crazy weekend. We had driven to Tinley to Chicago, and we got back Sunday night, and that's like 12 hours away. We got back Sunday night, slept for like 4 hours. Me didn't matter because I'm just a passenger and I sleep almost the entire drive everywhere we go. Larry's a great driver. And then Monday morning, after like 4 hours of sleep, Larry got up and we drove straight to Dallas to go pick up 2 animals, which are 2 beautiful basins that are upstairs in quarantine. And I'll give you guys an update on those in a little while. I have to follow my notes here. So right now I'm just kind of chatting for a minute. But when we got back with those animals that Monday night, it was our very first live feed. I was like, oh my gosh, 25 minutes. And we have our first Monday night live feed. And, you know, we thought about, do we do it? Do we not do it? And I really want to be consistent. So we just did it. The whole thing came up the wrong orientation. So if you're on your computer, it was all sideways. And it was short, you know, and we were not prepared. And then last week, we had a fabulous Monday night live feed. We did something we're going to do again next Monday night, which is put all these animals in the rain chamber. So you guys got to actually go with me to take the animals out of the enclosures, take them to the rain chamber, let them poop, play with them, and bring them back. And then I fed them later that night. So on these Monday night live feeds, it's just going to be just Jungle Room maintenance. I'll show you guys all kinds of cool stuff with the animals because it's in the evening. So the animals are going to be waking up soon. So it's no big deal if I wake them up early on these Monday night live feeds. And during that time, I'll show you guys something that people often ask me, which I'm also going to show you a little bit tonight, is about how do you get your animals so handleable? Well, I'll show you some of the things that I've done to create the relationship that I have with these animals. And that's probably one of the two things I'm most excited about for these live feeds is showing off how I have worked with these animals to get them to where they are. And my next thing I'm super excited about is sharing how to make these vines and different things like that. Making the vines is going to be something that's going to be on our room tours live feeds, not on these news live feeds. These are going to be updates. And like I said, any maintenance we do down here, as far as putting them in the rain chamber, which we'll do again next Monday. Which brings me back to what happened last Monday. We had a fabulous live feed. We had so many people. We laughed. Things I know right now, if some of the people are watching, would laugh right now just thinking about. Um, I got so excited when the snakes were in the rain chamber. And I wanted to show some of the interactions with our males and females. So it turned out that Cassius Clay reacted to being around all the other animals and not only stuck out his hemipenis to wiggle around, but it like bloomed open like a total male domination thing. So that was such a cool thing that happened last Monday night on our live feed. But then on Tuesday, when I was trying to create the live feed for the Tuesday, I got confused and accidentally deleted last Monday's. So we, of course, can't recreate that, but we'll make a better one. And these animals can go into the rain chamber again in 1 week from today, next Monday. Usually it would be 3 or 4 weeks between going in the rain chamber and everything. But last week they all got a very small meal, much smaller than what they would normally get. And um, I don't know that I want to share the reasons for that. I can, maybe later. We'll see in the video if it comes up. Why did these animals get such a little tiny meal? Maybe I'll tell you after 7 p.m. When this live feed is over, so that way it's not like part of it, because people don't like to talk a lot about what snakes eat. Although probably most of us here are snake people, but I know some of us aren't. I will. So they didn't eat much 2 weeks, 1 week ago. So 1 week from now, they'll be ready to go in the rain chamber again. And that's when I'm going to take you guys and we'll do all of that again. It was really fun. I'm excited about those kinds of things. You know, the hardest thing about wanting to share our goings on here in our Happy Basins jungle room and all the upstairs animals is making videos for that. And I make videos constantly and I say, oh, this is so cute, I'm going to share it as a short. And then it's 20 seconds instead of 7 seconds. And I can't figure out what to cut out. So I just never do anything with it. So I love these live feeds because now I can share everything with you guys and I don't have to worry about going back and editing anything. You can watch stuff if you like it. And on Tuesdays are probably one of my favorite live feeds from 1 to 2 p.m. From 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Central Standard Time on Tuesdays, we leave the cameras upstairs on Jaja and the tortoises. And I also now, thanks to Larry setting up some really cool technology, I can switch camera views. So I can also show you guys our little colubrids that are up there. Colubrids is a new word for me, and that is our little Aztec California king snake and our Pueblan milk snake. And that's Serapi and Hundo, and they are precious. So from now on our Tuesday live feeds, we'll get to switch back and forth to looking at Jaja and the sulcata tortoises to looking at those two little snakes up there. And the fun thing, the reason why I'm doing the 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. live feeds, because it's the fun thing about that is the animals all wake up. Like from 9 to 10:30, they just wake up and start moving around a little bit. And then by 11:30, they are desperately searching for food. So you actually get to watch the iguana and the tortoises forage just like they would in nature. And they walk around and around. And if you guys have seen their setup upstairs, it's as naturalistic as I could possibly make to put into my living room. I Googled their natural habitats and tried to recreate it as best I could, just like I do down here. So those Tuesday mornings are really fun. And then from 1 to 2, I actually feed them live. So you guys get to watch how they react when I finally give them their food. So Tuesday live feeds are really fun. And I have something extra special planned for next Tuesday, not this Tuesday, but I'll be telling you about that tomorrow on that live feed. So as far as back down to the jungle room, we also do a live feed on Monday night. Sometimes it's boring and sometimes it's exciting. And my all night long live feeds down here in the jungle room are only live during the time that they're live. And then the video I just let it disappear. So that way I don't get a whole bunch of videos on my YouTube of 12-hour long sessions where really nothing's happening. Of course, if something really exciting happens, of course, I'll put it on there and leave it up. But at night, it's kind of like watching a fish tank. It's this room in infrared, and we switch back and forth from the different animals because that's what I do. I just sit on my phone and I look at my Lorex cameras on the app. So that's what I figured I could do is just share that screen. So whatever I'm looking at, you guys just get to see it too. And there will also be some things on our Monday night live feeds. I'm going to try to do one before I leave for Brazil to go to the jungle to find these guys in the wild again. I am going to set up my hammock and let the animals slither all around in here, which you guys can see on some of my videos, but I'm actually going to do it live. So some of those live feeds are going to be really exciting. And on the days I do that, I'll give you guys plenty of notice. As I've been learning the technology and learning how to use the StreamYard and YouTube, I'm now able to preset these live streams. So I can actually have a thumbnail telling you what it's going to be about. And you guys can choose, if it's something that that you're interested in, that you want to watch. So those are all the live feeds that we have going on. And it's just been fun showing and sharing without having to do video editing. So I really appreciate you guys being here to let us share.
Say hello to everybody around the world.
And I always say show and tell is just as fun when you're 51 as it is when you're 5. So I'm just having a blast. And Larry said it's fun too. All right, let's see who we have here. I'm looking at YouTube and I see Johan. Thank you, Johan. Johan's in Sweden and it's midnight there. So he's having a late night. Johan. Is that how it's Johan or Johan? Johan. Thank you, sweetie. And then Erica says hello. She's at an appointment, but she'll be on and off with us. Thank you, Erica. The North Project from England. Hello. I don't know if I know who you are. Sometimes like Johan, I know from Facebook. So sometimes some folks show up here on YouTube and I don't know their name on YouTube, but I do on Facebook. So North Project, I do not know if we have met. Hello, Tara. I know you're probably getting ready to drive home from work. At this point, you're probably already driving. Yes, show and tell. I see Tara's still on there. Now, as far as the Facebook, oh, I do get to see Rebecca. Hello, Rebecca. And oh my goodness, what a surprise. I don't know if you're still here, but my cousin Dylan, who lives in France, is on with us on Facebook. I love you, cousin. It's really amazing to get to be so close with cousins around the world. I love social media. It's been such a great way for us to keep in contact and have a complete window to each other's lives. I am so grateful with my family and friends from around the world that I get to keep in contact with everybody so intimately. Thank you. So let's talk about some of our updates, some things that you guys want to know. First of all, baby Peo is doing fabulously. I do plan to bring baby Peo out to show you guys how he's doing. He has eaten 2 meals. Should we show him now? Should we just get baby Peo out now? All right, you can just hand me his little ball. He has this little ball that he really loves to sit on. So we'll just bring that out and let him sit with us here for a minute. He has had 2 meals. I did have to assist feed him on both meals. We have not yet been able to get baby Peo to attack a meal and eat it, but we're very encouraged that he is going to do that soon. And of course, baby Peo, we do not know if Peo is a boy or a girl. But I just go back and forth between saying he and she. And he had 2 little, the tiniest little pinky mouse you can imagine that we had frozen in the freezer, something we bought at the pet store. And we defrosted those and heated it up and gave Peo a chance to, eat it the way snakes do, strike at it and grab it. But he didn't. So I very gently just put the little head between his front lips and just got it into his mouth. And once I got it in there, he used his teeth and started swallowing. So I really wanted to post a video of that, but everybody's not crazy about watching snakes eat. But his little teeth, oh my goodness, he showed his little teeth and everything. So this is baby Peo. He has different kinds of vines in his little enclosure, and he likes this little metal thing. But look at that little tiny face, you guys. He's just precious. He's been into the rain chamber a few times. He loves the rain chamber. He just relaxes in there and slithers around a bit, and you can clearly see him drinking lots of water in the rain chamber. And he was born September 15th. So what is that? Ziggy, how many days has it been since September 15th, 2024?
Sunday, September 15th, 2024 was 42 days ago. By the way, you have a new
Ziggy, stop. Ziggy, cancel. So little Peo is 42 days old. He shed his skin at 17 days old and ate his first meal at 35 days old, something very close to those. And then just the other day, he had another little meal. So there are different things that we plan to try with him, but right now we're just happy that he is eating and getting nutrition in his little body. So actually, sweetie, do you think he looks blue right now? Does he look?
He's very dark.
It's hard to tell, but we'll know in a couple days. So here he is, you guys, and he's very active. Oh my goodness. If he's moving around a lot tonight, I will put the camera on him so you guys can watch Peo moving around. All right, here you go. You're going to put him all the way back, right?
Mm-hmm.
We want to take him from that side?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then, look at that baby. Turn him around so you can see his fat little belly. Oh, golly, he's adorable. Oh, that face. So for those of you who were watching during Peo's birth, we do have some videos, lots of video coverage on that. As a matter of fact, that's what started this whole video thing. Peo was the only survivor of 8 babies. Isis, Peo's mother, had complications during her pregnancy because I did not do a good job keeping her at the right temperatures. So that's been talked about on many videos. And that would be a whole discussion all in itself. But I do also want to show you guys Isis. So as soon as Larry's done putting Peo back, we'll take you guys over to Isis. I can't take her out because she did eat a great, big, huge meal recently. For those of you who are here and in love with Isis, because there are some folks out here who have really inspired me to share my snakes over these past years because of their complete disinterest and even dislike or not liking snakes at all, but falling in love with Isis. So she's been a real novelty on Facebook for folks who are not snake people. She's just caught a lot of people's hearts. And I really appreciate you guys for that, because especially Sharon and Betty, because those two have been just like diehard Isis lovers, and neither of them are snake people at all. And Betty even travels an hour and a half over here to my house just to get her eyes on Isis. And she just hates it when I pick up Isis's head to show her, because she doesn't want Isis to be bothered. She just loves Isis. Lover, we're going to take the camera right over there. And I'll give you guys the Isis update, and I have more updates for you also. We have Jormungandr possibly having a post-ovulation shed. We have Ningishzida and Cassius Clay mating. I'm going to separate them on this video here tonight. And I also wanted to tell you about our Mommy Wada and Rico Suave in quarantine upstairs. And we also have Draca upstairs, who you've met on our room tours feeds. All right, let's go have a look at Isis. Oh, do you think you'll be able to do it? Yes, Tara Pale looks so good. He really does. North Project, even though we haven't met, hopefully we will sometime in the future. And thank you. And thank you also, North Project. You just reminded me that I want to give you guys an update on my upcoming trip to Brazil to go find the striped Batisi in the wild, which is something I've never done. All right, so Larry has to move a lot of stuff in order for us to go see Isis because of the way we have the technology set up. And you guys have seen us go through crazy technology learning, and we are getting really good at it. And Larry has been having a blast. I've been having such a blast with show and tell, and Larry's been having a blast learning all this technology. All right, come on over here. Whoops. So here she is, you guys. If you guys remember, she did not eat. Isis did not eat for 8.5 months. She was dwindled down to nothing. Since she had her babies, she's had 3 good meals. The first one was a very small meal. The second one was her regular size medium meal. And then the third meal was bigger than medium, biggest she's ever had. But that meal was the same reason as the reason those babies ate. Hi, sweet girl. Can you come back out here for just a second? And she's fine. Look at that face, you guys. You see that little dot on top of her head? Are you guys able to see that? That's her little famous dot. So there's Isis, and she is over 6 feet long. She's just normally has huge bumps on the top of her head. One more time, sweet girl, and then I'll let you go. Okay, one more time. She normally has big, huge bumps right here on top of her head. And those are like fat reserves. And when she didn't eat for those 8.5 months when she was pregnant and ovulating, it's totally normal for these guys to fast themselves during that time. But her bumps are finally coming back. And we're going to have our big, beautiful creature back in no time. Aren't we, sweet girl? Sweet, sweet thing. So that's our update on Isis. She is doing fabulous. Eating, since she gave birth, she already shed her skin. So she's had 3 meals. Did you get on the camera? She's had 3 meals and a shed. And she's been pooping. So she's doing great. Super, super proud of Isis. All right, let's see. Whoops. All right, let's see what other news we have. Actually, I shouldn't have sat down. I guess I just sat down out of habit because I still want to show you guys Jormungandr. So if you guys watched our, I think it was our room tours feed on Thursday at 1 p.m., we did a report on our gender bender situation down here, where we've learned that 2 of our females were males, and then a year and a half later, we learned that 2 of our males were females, and it's just been crazy with all of the gender switching going on in this room. And because of all of that, I was on a live stream one night. You guys have heard this story, some of you, holding 2 what I thought were males, Cassius Clay and Jormungandr. And I did have some suspicion that Jormungandr might possibly be a female, but it was too good to be true, so I didn't, focus on it. Even though I always say nothing is too good to be true. So there's just one more proof to that. But I was holding Jormungandr and Cassius Clay on a live feed just to show everybody the animals, and they started mating. So that was how I knew for sure Jormungandr was a female. Let's go over and have a look at Jormungandr. What do we have here? Oh, but that will be after we catch up on our comments here. Yes, the North Project said it's scary when they don't eat for a long time. You guys, I was like, my heart was dropped. My stomach was in a knot. I didn't know what was going on. I know everybody said they don't eat. They don't eat. There's nothing to worry about. But we tried everything, live chickens, hamsters, all different sizes of rats and mice. And we tried everything possible, and she would not eat. It was scary and heartbreaking, but it's normal. She did go way longer than what normally would happen because of the temperature mishandling on my part. Okay, so I can just call you North. Thank you. Oh, I accidentally hid someone's message. I didn't mean to do that. View deleted messages. 7 months. North, is the reason your python didn't eat for 7 months because it's pregnant? I wonder. Yes. The Punisher, are you the one who's asked about it before? I don't remember, but I did put a link to this Gaboon Viper in the last live feed, and I am actually going to talk about the art. It's right here on my list to talk about the art. So let's keep going, and when I get back to the art, I will. But in case you're not going to be here, this is a piece from Michelle Maddox. That is Maddix. And I can put a link. I put a link in the last live feed to her page. And you can just look up Michelle Maddox on Facebook or Instagram. And she has made quite a few of these. And she'll even make you a custom one. Like, we told her what shape we wanted it in and what colors we wanted. And she made it just like we asked. She's incredible. She also made these, but I'm not on that part of my notes yet. So let's go have a look at Jormungandr. Now, even though Jormungandr and Ningishsida were named as males, and now we've learned they're females, we're keeping their names the same. We are not going to change names. And Jormungandr is blue right now. So this is the major update. Even though Jormungandr is blue, I'm still going to show you guys her head, and she will be okay. It's not going to hurt her. Hey, sweetie. Can you see okay? We're just getting our camera on track here.
I didn't expect to go that high. Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. All right. Is it trying to focus on me? Should I move it with my hand? It's all right. All right, here we go, you guys. All right, so here's Jormungandr. I've just been sitting here with my hands on her neck so that you guys could watch her come out. And she is completely blue. Now, 2 weeks ago on our live feed, our Monday night live feed, the one that was in the wrong orientation that we did when we just got back into town, that was the very moment that I saw Jormungandr was in ovulation. Because after her and Cassius Clay started mating in my hands, I left them together. And then this happened. They were locked up constantly. I took a long, all night long video, went back and fast forwarded it. and you could actually see not just the lock, but you could see the animals' bodies pumping, like they were actually mating. And then 2 weeks ago, we got back from our trip, and I was on my live feed. I hadn't even been in here to look at the animals yet, and there was Jormungandr with a football in her belly. And the football in the belly, it's like the size of one of those handheld Nerf footballs. It's huge, and that's what happens when they're in ovulation. And now she's going into shed. So there is a chance that this is a post-ovulation shed. The reason that I may have hesitated to put Cassius Clay and Jormungandr together is because we did think Jormungandr was a male, so Jormungandr was mostly fed as a male. But the good news is when I went back to the feeding chart, I noticed that Jormungandr had quite a few medium rats this year. So that was very good. So this little thing is a girl, and she may very well be in her post-ovulation shed. And you can see how she just sits in my hand. She is extremely interactive. She loves love. Okay, sweetheart. You could go on back to what you're doing. Oh, God, I want to kiss her. Look, she doesn't want me to leave. She likes sitting in my hand because it's warm. Okay. Okay, go on back. Oh, God, I want to kiss her. But I can't reach her from where I am. All right, so then I may as well show you guys some more of the animals while we're over here. Here is, I need to get a different chair to stand on because that one is kind of wobbly. This is Bella. You guys, when we got Bella as a girl. Bella turns out to be a boy. So Larry's mom, Nan, has renamed Bella the fella. So this is Bella the fella. When we got Bella, he was a little tiny red thing with no stripe. He was so little. He had to be assist fed. He is our last. He's turned around. Can you turn around for us? We want to see your face. There you go. Good baby. Bella was our last animal to become an ambassador. He is not comfortable with handling for a long time. I'm still a little jumpy with him. He's never ever bit us. I'm just jumpy. That's why I don't drive. So this little thing right here is 4 years old now, yes, or 3 years old now, and has a beautiful stripe. So he's doing really good, and he's a great ambassador. He loves children. It's really weird. You guys can see that in some of the videos, but Bella is extremely curious about children, and the children love Bella. So there's that sweet little thing. And you guys, on these nightly news, JungleRoom news updates, is not the time I'm going to be talking about all of our technology. That's going to be on our room tours. And on our Thursday from 1 to 2 room tours, which they're live videos, but you can go back and watch any of our 1-hour videos anytime. But on those, I'll be talking about all of the technology in this room, what we use, how we use it, all of the stuff on the room tours will be that kind of stuff. All right, let's look now at these two. I had planned to get Cassius Clay out of there tonight. So let's get up here. All right, so here is Cassius Clay and Ningishita. I had the exact same scenario with these two that I had with Jormungandr and Cassius Clay, and that's the fact that I was on a live feed and I was holding both of them and they started mating. So I went ahead and put them together. They've been together on and off now for about maybe 10 days or so, and they have been mating. I haven't seen anything as sure as I did with Cash and Jormungandr, but I have seen some tail, what looked like tail locks. Nothing as definite as with the other two. But at this point, I think they're just sleeping together to be under the heat. I don't think they're still mating. But I did separate them the other day and fed them. And Cassius Clay was just pounding on his door. You guys, when I say pounding on his door, I mean he's wiggling his entire great big huge glass door trying to get out. So I went ahead and put him back over here. And they're very sweet. So I am thinking about taking him out tonight. We'll see. I like to wait till they wake up to actually move them. And then this is Jormungandr. So let's see. I feel a little head back there. I mean, not Jormungandr, I'm sorry, Ningishzida. And Ningishzida was also thought to be a male when we got him. Turned out to be a female, which I'm thrilled about because I love the look of this animal. I love her long, long snout. Can you guys see how long that is? It just reminds me of my German Shepherds. I used to raise German Shepherds, and they have a long snout with that little bump there and right in the middle. And then Ningishzida has that. And he's bigger than Jormungandr. And that was one of the signs that we thought maybe this might be a female, because it was just not it, but she was just growing bigger than the other males. She's a beautiful animal. So that's Ninji and Cash. And then over here we have Zaltis. Zaltis is Isis's brother. And we actually, big news, we actually just adopted Zaltis and Isis's other brother, who is a really good animal. He's 7 years old, and we'll be getting him sometime in the near future. But this is Zaltis, you guys. He is our absolute sweetest animal we have in here. When you hold Zaltis, I would show you guys their teeth, but it would scare some of you away from watching. When we hold Zaltis, he will instantly find his spot around your neck and get there, and you can't even get him off. Some of these animals waggle their tail when it's time to get off your neck. They love to sit on us. I think they love the heat, and I know many people don't agree with me, but they love the love. They love the love. And I'm excited during our nighttime when we start talking about how to touch these animals. I'll be coming in here and turning all the lights off early on nights when they're real hungry and making sure everybody's good in hunting. And then while they're hunting, I'm going to come in here and show you guys exactly how I can touch them even when they're in hunting mode. So they are extremely easy to read. All right, let's move on over here to Azima. Azima was our very first emerald. And we got little Azzy as a girl. And when he was just a little red noodle. And Azzy was our first animal who we found out had a gender bender. Azima came to us as a female, but turns out to be a male. And Azzy is the brother of Jormungandr. So can you even see up there? Okay. Hi, sweetie. He's got his kind of, can I see you? Can you come out? Oh, sorry. Oh, here we are. Yeah, I just want to show you off. It's show and tell. It's emerald show and tell. So this is Azima. And Azzy is a 5-year-old male. And again, very, very sweet. Azzy was our very first animal who taught us all about how these guys like to climb and move around and how they're able to be interactive. So that is Azima. And then you guys don't get to meet them on tonight's live feed because they're in quarantine. But we do also, oh, you don't have to. I'm sorry, I'm just going back here. The animals upstairs in quarantine are Mommy Wada and Rico Suave. And Rico Suave did eat. We did have to assist him in eating. He's been on antibiotics since we got him. And he finished his round of antibiotics. We tried to feed him. We had a total rookie mistake, but there was a reason for it. And that's the fact that when you heat up their frozen defrosted rats too much, the insides get mushy and it makes it very difficult for the animals to eat them. So Rico Suave did actually try to eat something, but because we kept heating it up, trying to see if he wanted it hotter, 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 anyway, it didn't work out. So 2 nights later, we offered him food. He showed no interest, so we decided to help him eat. And I got a meal that was way too small for him, defrosted it, and heated it up, and then helped him eat it. And he did exactly like Peo, even better. I just very lightly put the little mouse's head between his lips and got his mouth open and got it into his mouth. And I just kept like rubbing his chin. And every time I rubbed his chin, he would do a swallowing motion, like using his teeth to pull it in. So Rico Suave did eat. All right, before I move on to the next thing, I will read some of these comments. Yes, their faces are so cute. North says their faces are so cute, and they really are. A girl who was a boy that turned out to be a girl. That's pretty much the story in this room. But yes, when we first found out that 2 of our females were males, we were really sad because I had all these plans about how the animals would be together all the time. But then all of a sudden I have 6 males in here, and that was too many males. But then a year and a half later, 2 of my males turned out to be females. So it just works out. Yes, those little faces are super sweet. I don't know if you guys could see in the video, but their eyes are moving around. They're looking at everything. They're so observant and curious. And don't think that those animals were gentle because I woke them up from sleeping. I can't wait to show you guys on another one of our night feeds how I can completely touch them just like that, straight when they're hunting for food, when they're the most hungry. I actually prefer to interact with them when they're hungry because that is when they're the most interested in what's going on around them. And that'll be a whole entire night, 1 whole hour video all about how I interact with my animals. I can only tell you how I do things, my experience, what I've learned from my mentors, from reading, and from my experience. I am not an expert on these animals. I'm just a girl who loves them with all her heart and does a lot of research to find out about them. Oh, Punisher, you have an emerald tree boa named Onyx. I love that name. I love to see a picture of Onyx. Is he dark? We do have a dark one upstairs. One of Rico Suave, who's in quarantine, has a very good, strong gene, the black gene, and he's from Steve Volk's Black Line, and he's pretty dark. I can't wait to show him to you guys. Punisher, yes, they are odd names, but they all, except Bella and Cassius Clay, who Larry named, all of these other animals have names from deities from ancient civilizations who are depicted either as snakes or with snakes. So that's where I get the names from, Google. But I have learned and memorized all about all of these names. So that's a video I could do one night just telling you all about their names. But that probably wouldn't be very interesting. So North, there's your answer right there, where the names came from. I Google ancient civilization snake deities, and that's what I get. I have Mesopotamia, Africa, Egypt, and many, many more. I can't remember all of the places. Tefford, thank you for being here with us from the UK. So cool having you guys here from all different places. And thank you, Baron. Oh, Baron! That's Mario. You guys on Facebook, you say Baron Oni is my very dear friend from Suriname named Mario. And Mario is he takes good care of us when we're there. He helps us when we travel to the wild to find these guys in the Amazon rainforest. We actually do have ambassador sessions with wild emeralds, believe it or not. And Mario is such a great help. So Mario, yay. So good to have you here. And Wendy, thank you for being here, and Luke. All right, so let's see. We got our updates on the animals. We got to meet everybody. Thank you for saying, Mario, you can't see on YouTube, but Tara's saying hello to you. All right, I told you all of these things. Oh, I know. I want to tell you before I move on, because the last part of my notes is going to go kind of quick. I'm just going to basically give you a list of all of the things we're going to talk about on our news updates here. But this is one of the big ones. For those of you who don't know, I have traveled 10 times to the Amazon rainforest in the last 4.5 years. I've done 1 month, 2-week, 3-week trips. I go out to the jungle, sleep in a hammock, live off rodents and fish, even iguana. Don't tell Jaja. I eat what the natives eat out there, what our friends and guides and hunters and trappers eat out there. And we spend the time out there in the rainforest, and my sole purpose, my goal, is to find emerald tree boas in the wild. I've been to Peru, Brazil, and Colombia. I've been to, I'm about to take my 4th trip to Peru, to Brazil. And that is going to be in just 3.5 weeks, which I cannot believe that's coming up so fast. Puts a knot in my stomach every time I think about one of my upcoming trips. But this particular trip is special because I'm going with some people who've been researching these animals for a long time. And those of you who follow my work in the rainforest know that I normally find the northern emerald tree boa. And I've only ever found one basin. These are basins. The northern version looks just like them, with some few differences on scale count on the snout, the stripe, the belly's a little bit duller color, just some very minute differences. The animals were not even separated as different species until the 70s. So they're very similar. And the northern version is easier to find for multiple reasons, but the main reason is because they are legally exported from Suriname and Guyana. So people know where these animals are and don't mind saying so because it's a legal trade. So I travel with ex-trappers, Mark and Tony and Kenny, and a beautiful group of family that I have in Suriname. We've traveled together 5 of my 10 trips. And I am taking Mark with me to my Brazil trip coming up in 3 weeks. So my main person in Suriname is going with me to Brazil. So thank you, Mark, for being there for me for that. And the special thing about this trip to Brazil, my other trips to Brazil were in different locations. This particular location is actually where the striped batisi, the striped basin emerald, comes from. And there's also another very special emerald in that same area, and that's the black basin emerald tree boa. So I've got some opportunities to see some of these guys in the wild that I've never seen before. And I have actually had 25 wild emeralds in my hands and seen about a good half a dozen more than what I've actually held. So I'm excited to see something I've never seen before. I cannot wait. I am not going during the prime time of the year to see these guys, but I'm going with people who know how to find them, people who have studied them for decades. So I'm very, very excited about that upcoming trip. And during the 2 weeks that I'll be gone on that trip, we will just have no live feeds. But as soon as I get back, I'll have tons to share with you guys. And I'm excited about that. On our room tours, I'll also be sharing more pictures and videos about previous trips. And those are my Thursday 1 to 2. So some of those room tour videos will be me sharing pictures and videos from previous trips. Thank you, Punisher, for talking about our setup here. I'm going to show you guys one more time when I finish up these last 10 minutes. I'm going to tell you just a list of all the things that we're going to be covering in our Monday night Jungle Room news live streams. Let's see. I told you guys about my trip, super exciting trip to Brazil. I'll be out there in the jungle, and sometimes we're really surprised. Sometimes we come across Wi-Fi. So if I have the opportunity out there in the jungle, we'll come across some mining camps or maybe a little village that has a tower. You never know. It's crazy. All of a sudden your phone will be going ding, 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 because everything comes through, and then it does all that. And then 1 minute later you have nothing. So if you're just traveling down the river, you don't have time to go search for that signal, but sometimes we do. So if I have the opportunity to come live with you guys while I'm out there, I definitely will do it. And that does happen. So on our nightly news in here, there will be some information that's doubled over from our room tours. On our nights in this room specifically, we're going to be mostly working with the animals, talking about news updates of the animals. On the Thursday live feeds is when we're going to really get into how to make the vines, how the animals use the vines, how we set everything up. Those will be our Thursday afternoons. But on these nightly live feeds, I will mention a lot of stuff, not particularly spend a whole hour talking about vines like I will on a Thursday feed. But I would like to go around this room real quick and show you guys everything and show you the different stuff we're going to talk about. Since I'm sitting here right now, I'll start with art. Yes, Dragon Slayer, rest in peace to Dingle Dinkleman. I personally never heard of Dingle Dinkleman, who, as far as I understand, was bit by a venomous snake and died. I think it was a mamba, black mamba, a green mamba. I had never heard of Dingo until this happened. But I see all of my good friends on Facebook posting about Dingo, and I see what a beautiful soul he looks to have been with a beautiful family. And we all are very sad always to lose anybody. And when it's somebody within our community working with snakes, it's very hard on the community, on the snake community. So thank you for bringing that up, Dragon Lair. The Punisher says, I saw you get nailed by the mouse. I don't know what that means. Yes, it is going to be an amazing trip. Punisher, I don't know how to send messages on YouTube. I think you have to have a certain amount of subscribers before you can have a community page where you send messengers. So you guys like and subscribe my stuff so that I can get more people, because once we hit 1,000, Larry's working on some t-shirts of our animals and different things that we get to actually put up on YouTube. So I'm super excited about that. So Punisher, you can send it to me on HappyBasins send me a picture of Onyx on Facebook or Instant Messenger on, what's the other one? Instagram. Yes. All right, so then is your camera off my face so that we can get around and show everything? I'm going to show you guys just a quick briefing, a 7-minute overview of all of the different things in this room that you are going to be interested in. Let's start with our enclosures here. I'll use this one because you guys see how this enclosure is empty right here of plants? We don't have a huge plant in here. Can you just scroll over to this plant right here? This plant, for the enclosures that you see are empty, I trimmed the tops off all the plants. And you can look here and there, and they're everywhere. So these are the tops off the plants, and then I'm repotting the bottom parts. So these will be filled back up. But while we have it empty, let's come over here and have a look. Come on over. This is a vine system. I make this vine system out of 25 feet of 1/2-inch soaker hose and 25 feet of 1/4-inch soaker hose. I also have some 3/8-inch soaker hose mixed in here. I thread that through with 6-gauge copper wire for the 1/2-inch and 10 gauge copper wire for the 1/4 inch. And that makes the soaker hose really nice and strong, but bendable. And the cool thing is, look at this, you guys. These are my arboreal water holders. One of the biggest problems that people have with keeping arboreal snakes is how do we put up the water bowls? And this water bowl is just built right, twisted right into the soaker hose here. This is a 3/8 inch soaker hose I used for the water bowls because I accidentally got the soaker hose without texture. And I'll be teaching you guys how to make all this stuff. I don't know if you can tell, but this particular vine, when we first started doing this, we were buying these pet store vines for reptiles, stripping the wire out of them, putting the copper wire in, but the material's very fragile. It rips easily, it's expensive, and I couldn't get the long pieces I wanted to actually create this whole system. You guys can see right over here. And you know, another thing I want to point out, you guys, look at this head right here, Bella's head. And then come over here and look at Jormungandr's head. And you can go throughout the entire jungle room and see that they have not hid their heads since I touched them. They leave their heads out because they might get more love. But you can see that this vine right here is what the soaker hose vine looks like unpainted. And this is one I actually made for a video showing people how to make it, but never posted because, well, then I have to sit and edit. Come on over here to Isis's habitat. In her habitat, you guys can see these bowls right here. These are 3D printed water bowls that Larry created on the computer and the printer that he bought. And that's what we used to do. Inside of Isis's enclosure here, you can see soaker hose vines, as well as you can see a lot of natural wood that we used in here. This is all removable. This whole entire system, I can just pick it up right here and the whole thing just lifts out, which there's a video of that as well of Allison and I taking this out and cleaning the whole inside. Another thing that you guys will be seeing, let's come back over here since it's just easy to show it on these. We'll keep it here on, let's stay here on Bella. So it's kind of hard to see with this light on, but these are fluval lights. They have red, blue, white, soft white, cold white, and those are excellent for the plants and the animals. I don't know what they do for the animals. These animals stay in the jungle, so that's why it's mostly red and blue, because those are the rays that get through the canopy. And then the white light is for the plants. I did increase their white light a little bit. I have to find a good balance with the white light, what works good for the plants, but too much white light has proven to mess with my sheds. So I can't turn the white light too high. Right now, I've got it at 30%. We're experimenting with that again. Another thing in here, maybe, should I turn the big light on? You think that would be helpful? Yeah, the lights are getting dim because we do have a sunset feature on our fluval lights. So right now in here, the sun's going down. But this big white thing is a heat panel. We have full misting systems in every enclosure, as well as these black things. Show this one right here. This is a full rain chamber. This whole thing is a rain chamber. In the back corner, we have automatic fans. And then right here at the bottom, show this right here. You guys can see there's a drain. And this is all plumbed, all electric, and everything is underneath these cabinets and up in these cabinets here. So when we do our room tours and I show you guys our technology and our room build, you'll get to see the details of all of that. Now let's turn around and look at the vines. Can you give them a good view of the vines? You guys can see all of these vines up here on the ceiling. These are all natural vines that we cut from down in the river. We power washed and shellacked, and they are, show them one of the joints, like up there, they're screwed like all the way up there on the ceiling. They're screwed into the beams of the ceiling. So they're really, really strong. And the animals get to come out and free roam on there. These plants in this jungle room are not just for my visual pleasure and to torture Larry when I'm on my trips because he has to take care of them. They are here to keep the humidity up in the room as well as in the enclosures. The plants are a huge asset to our humidity levels that are necessary. You guys can see this plant right here. This is a plant that Jaja had. So Jaja cannot have pothos anymore, but I am learning the different plants that our green iguana can have upstairs and not eat. This is not one of them, obviously. And also we'll be talking about all the plants. What does well in here? How did I choose these plants? And, you know, the different toxicity levels and why that matters. So we'll talk about all of this stuff on different feeds because there's a good subject for each night. These cameras up here are what you watch the animals with on our Monday nights from 8 p.m. to 7 a.m. We show the views from all of these cameras. So we have the cameras all over the room, and during the live feed, we switch back and forth to the different cameras. And there's one on Peo and one on the mating snakes. So you guys get to see all kinds of stuff. I think last Monday we had a lot of good mating action. Let's see. I did not yet talk about the art. And vines, the build, the technology. We met the animals. We talked about the plants. All right, you guys, it's 7 o'clock. I am going to tell you about this art. And then this live feed, after I talk about the art, is over. So if you do not want to know about why the snakes had an extra small meal and why Isis had a huge meal, then please sign off as soon as I finish talking about the art. This, like I said, is a Gaboon Viper by Michelle Maddox. Michelle Maddox also, am I okay or should I put some lights on here? Huh? Lights.
Google,
okay.
everything went sunset on it.
Yes, it did. But I have an app right here on my phone and I can change any of these lights. So right now I'm going to change what we call Audrey, north and west. So I need to turn my Bluetooth on. And you guys, these fluval lights are absolutely fantastic. We get a lot of use out of these. The big downfall with them is you can't change them all at once. So I can't like go on and put all these lights on at one time. I have to do it like this. All right, so this Gaboon Viper, as well as these two right here. These are two walking sticks. And Michelle Maddox, Maddix, is the artist who did all these. And I just found Michelle Maddox on Facebook. I saw that she had done some work. And I'd found this stick at a yard sale. And this snake wrapped around this stick is a real vine that just grew around this stick. And someone was selling it at the garage sale for a few bucks. Well, it was probably more than that, like $12, but it was really cool. So I got it. And I sent a picture of it to Maddox and asked her if she could carve a snake around it. And she said, oh, I've never done anything like that. I'd love to give it a try. So here it is. And I'm sorry, I know you just got that set up, but can you get the head and everything? Oh, okay, good. And then a couple years later, I found this stick and I sent it to Michelle Maddox and I asked her if she could carve an emerald into this. And when she got the stick, she opened it and messaged me and she said, I can carve 2 emeralds out of that. So you guys can see that this one has 2 emeralds completely carved in here. And we love our Michelle Maddox artwork. And her prices are way too low. Hopefully she's done something about that. But we always like to give her a nice good tip because she does not charge enough for this beautiful work. And then coming back here, you guys, this is, some of you have seen our friend Ron Rundo. He and Allison have done this artwork back here. And Ron Rundo carves beautiful snakescapes. You can check them out at snakescapes.com. That's just the 2 words, all one word, snakescapes, like a landscape, you know. And this tree is beautiful. It's a 6-foot tall tree. It's got built-in water bowls. We used to have it inside of an enclosure, but we cut it out of the enclosure. And when we remodeled our jungle room, we put it in this corner. And the perches that are up here, these are all removable perches. And initially, when this was inside of the 6-foot enclosure, these perches were vertical, and they were all removable, super easy to use. We love our Rundo snakescape. As far as all these tree branches, this is just tree stuff I got at different estate sales and just cut it apart and put it everywhere. And then this art is by Allison Surf, my girlfriend Allison Surf, who's been on 2 jungle trips with me. And all of this art has very personal little things in it. And I am very excited the day that we actually get to spend a whole hour just talking about the art in this room, because I also have all kinds of amazing art. If you guys don't know the story behind this piece of art, you are in for a treat. It's a great story. This little dragon lizard is what actually came to me in a vision years ago and told me to start going to the jungle, and changed my whole life. My daughter made this for me. And within every bit of this, it's digital art. So on the computer, you can zoom in, and every one of these has a whole entire story inside of it. So I'll get to tell you guys all about that. Also, a different art. This is from one of the middle school here in our area. The art teacher from our middle school saw a picture of Ningishsita on the internet, on Facebook, and drew with this, just felt like doodling and drew this of Ningishsita. There's more, lots more. We have all kinds of amazing personal art in here. All right, since we are already past time, I'm going to tell you guys about the food situation. And then there's still a lot more art. I'm looking around in here. There's art everywhere. So we're going to have a whole entire hour just to talk about why all of this art, every piece of art in this room is in here for a reason, and is all special and was specially made just for us. So that is really amazing. Yes, Erica's asking if Michelle Maddox and Ron Rundo at Snakescapes are on Instagram and Facebook. And Snakescapes actually has a .com. It's a website, so you guys can see if that's going good. I just remembered he was having some issues with his website creator. Yes, Tara, no texting and driving. Huh. But I know, and anyways, I already know Tara has a full voice system that she talks on, so she's doing hands-free. You guys, the reason why the snakes ate 1 week ago, and I'm going to be able to put them in the rain chamber and feed them again in 1 more week, is because when Peo was born, we wanted to have little baby live pinkies for Peo to try to eat, because it is sometimes very difficult to get baby snakes to eat. So we thought to increase our chances, we would make sure we had available to him little tiny babies. So I went and got from a friend of mine 2 mama rats. One mama rat had fresh new babies, and another mama rat was about to have babies. And well, Peo never wanted those babies. So they all grew up, all 20 of them grew up beautifully. And so now we've been getting rid of them little by little to our 2 upstairs snakes, the king snake and the Pueblan milk snake, who are literally like garbage disposals. I've actually heard people call king snakes and milk snakes garbage disposals. We have to be careful not to feed them too much. But now that those little rats got bigger, they were big enough to feed to these animals. So we just fed everybody a hopper last week to try to get rid of some. We have 1 left. Guess why we have 1 left? Who can guess? Because Larry says it looks like a husky, and it's the smartest one. And he says that now he's keeping it. So we now have a pet rat. And he's fully responsible for the rat, and that is his pet. if we ever, anyway.
Escaping him.
Yeah, it even escaped. He was trying to take pictures of it to prove to his mother that it was adorable because Nan said she never saw a cute rat. So Larry was trying to prove to Nan that it was adorable, and the little rat escaped and was gone for days in the garage. Well, this morning, the little rat was back in his little cage drinking water. So Larry's pet rat came home. It's a prodigal rat. So I think that means you're supposed to love it even more than ever. Yes, Erica says the colubrids are the tiger sharks of the land, and those are the garbage disposals. Lady Z has followed us. Erica, Lady Z, and Tara have followed Larry's little rodent love situation. He keeps falling in love with the food. And then he says it's no longer on the menu. But we've never ever dealt with live food, and we never will have to again. The only reason we had the live food was because Isis wasn't eating and we wanted to tempt her, and then the baby needed live food for temptation. So we deal with frozen to frosted heated food straight across the board. And Larry has proven that live food is more problematic than even what you might think with the animals, but because he falls in love with it. And now I've got a pet hamster and a pet rat. So that's Larry. And then I see CW or DW is not here. Danita is feeding it. Danita, if you watch this later, you know what you're doing. And Danita has been sending Larry Instagram videos of the cutest little hamster things you've ever seen in your life. So he just watches them and laughs, and he loves them. So I do appreciate that Danita's making Larry laugh, but feeding the love for the hamsters, oh gosh. I'm scales and shells I'm okay with, but I'm actually scared of those little hamsters. No, that's right. Feeding live is not going to work out for us. Plus, we don't like it. The animals like it. It's fun to watch them hunt. All right, one more thing about Isis eating. Let me see what Nick said first. Hey, Amy, my wife Jess and I met you in Daytona and just wanted to say hey and thank you for what you do. No, yes, Larry has an Instagram, but he doesn't post anything on it. She's sending it in Instagram messages. But you can find him on there, Larry Powell. Nick, thank you so much for coming on and saying hello. I'm so glad that I got to meet you guys in Daytona. And Larry and I are having fun. Larry actually went with me to the Tinley Expo, and I think he's trying to get to the Pomona Expo. So that just opens the odds of us going to Daytona again. So we'll see. It is really fun going and meeting everybody. And you guys, oh my gosh, I had such a blast dressing up like Medusa. I felt so foolish at first because, you know, nobody else is dressed up and I'm in this big costume. But the children loved it. When I see their little faces light up, I don't care about how stupid I feel. So I think Tara and I are going to start a party. If this all works out, we're going to be with Shira from Snake Therapy, and Tara and I are going to do a Medusa dress-up party. So anybody who wants to dress up like Medusa and hang out with us, we are going to try to work toward that. So we'll see how that goes. Now, let me tell you guys one more thing about Isis. The reason why Isis had a bigger than normal size meal was because I had to get rid of those rats. I had those 2 huge mama rats. The one mama rat I gave upstairs. I have, I'm working with my girlfriend Allison, and we're rehabilitating a northern wild-caught emerald from Guyana somebody got. And that animal has been in quarantine since February at Allison's house. And now she wants us to see if we can further her care. And her name is Draca. And she has been popping off those live ones for us. Not all of the animals will eat a live one because they're not used to it. They don't know what to do with it, some of them. The other ones, some of them love it. But that Wildcott up there loves it. So she got the first big mama. And then I had the second big, huge mama that Larry fell in love with. And we did love her. But I can't keep all the rats. There was a overgrown rat situation at my garage. So I got that other big mama. I set her down in front of Isis, turned around to get my phone, turned around to take a video, and Isis already had it. The thing barely even made a noise. It was gone in a second. So I was really glad Isis got that. And especially because that mama rat was still nursing great big huge rats that were way too big to still be suckling on her while she's walking around, other rats almost her size. It was really sad. So when I fed her to Isis, I thought I just put her out of her misery. But anyways, that went quickly. And I loved the fact that Isis got all that nutrition because that mama rat had all those, she was full of nutrition, milk and everything. So I was just thrilled that Isis ate her. Anyway, so that's the eating story that I didn't want to tell in front of everybody. But I know just you guys that are left here were ready to hear that. All right, you guys. Well, I have gone 15 minutes over. Yes, I was very glad, Lady Z, that she dispatched very quickly. I was very, very glad to hear that. You guys, yes, I do hope that we make it back to Pomona. And Nick, I really hope we make it back to Daytona. That was such a fun trip. We really enjoyed it. We're thinking about getting a table at the Snake Expos. Once we get our 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, we're going to start making shirts of these guys and doing other cool stuff. So I hope that happens so that we can get that rolling, and maybe even we can get a couple done before January if we get to make it.
So tell all your friends.
So tell all of your friends to subscribe to HappyBasins so we can get our 1,000 followers. You guys, thank you so much for being here today. It looks like I covered everything on my notes, and I am super excited. In 43 minutes, I am going to be starting the live feed on this room. You guys are going to have the opportunity to get a look at all the different camera views. I don't go back and forth a lot. It's a very boring feed. I just delete it in the morning. But throughout the night, anytime you feel like logging into our HappyBasins YouTube channel, not Facebook, just YouTube, you'll be able to see black and white infrared images of the jungle room. All right, if there are any more questions or comments you want me to see, now's the time. Well, Erica, I'm going to address what Erica said here in just a second. Oh yes, Tinley on October. That's a possibility for us too. I think there are 2 Tinleys. Oh, Erica, that would be amazing. Thanks, Erica. About the Pomona tables, and Shira's looking into tables, and I inquired about tables also for Pomona, but I haven't heard anything back yet. All right, I want to address Erica's comment about Shira's photos. A couple of things. Erica, when you see the art in my house upstairs during our room tours, you're going to see that I love lady art. I have sculptures, paintings, prints. I have huge murals on walls. As a matter of fact, there's one right there. So I positively love lady art. So my perspective is not the same as yours. When I saw Shira's photos, Shira's a friend of mine she's been doing YouTube and puts a lot of videos out. Snake therapy, she does a magnificent job. And she posted some gorgeous, very artistic, in my opinion, photos of her nude holding snakes. And she did blur out any parts where her nipples were showing or anything, but I thought they were very tastefully done. And we all have different perspective on things. As far as that being a sexualization thing, I just don't see it that way. I feel like us people are just like flowers and plants and all of the beautiful things that are on this world. And I don't feel shy to look at a beautiful flower, just like I don't feel shy to look at a beautiful body. And in my opinion, it's art and I love it. But I totally, absolutely respect everybody's different perspectives. We've all, grown through different things and, have different ideas about things. So in my opinion, Shira's photos are beautiful and I love them. And as a matter of fact, I would like to take some photos like that, maybe a little different, but I would just love to have beautiful lady art and me being the lady with my snakes, which is kind of what Allison did right here. When I tell you about this art, you'll see exactly where these figures came from. So yes, Erica, I can totally see where you're coming from. I just feel differently. I think it's a shame we can't. I think it's a shame that our bodies are even looked at like that. We should all be able to be whatever. Anyway, we're good there. All right, you guys, I love you guys. Erica, Tara, Dana, you guys who have been here from the very, very beginning, you are the reason that we have these live feeds. Your interest when we started with Isis's pregnancy to Peyo's birth, everything has been just absolutely remarkable. And thank you all for giving me the confidence to get up here and think that there actually are people who want to hear about all this stuff, because the hardest part about having all this stuff is not sharing it because I love to share. So thank you guys so much. And I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. We have our Tuesday live feed. All of this Jungle Room will be on tonight, starting here in just a little over 30 minutes. And then upstairs tomorrow morning from 9 to 1, you can watch our animals rise and shine and forage. And then from 1 to 2, you'll get to see me interact with the animals and feed them and do some cute stuff. And I think our pet sitter may be here tomorrow at that time as well. So you guys will get to see Soraya again. All right, you guys, thank you. And Thursday, our room tours special on Thursday. So tomorrow I have an announcement on our upstairs live feed at 1 o'clock of something that we're going to do next Monday or next Tuesday on that live feed. And I think you're going to like it. All right, you guys, thank you so much for coming. Keep being amazing. I'll see you soon.